Shalom. Today I'd like to show you a Bible code called According to Their Kinds. The matrix is found entirely within the first 6 chapters of Genesis. The phrase according to their kinds is found twice in this table. First, it's here going vertical at a skip of 313 letters. And then it's over here on the left in the plain text of Scripture. This passage is Genesis chapter 1, verse 21, where it talks about the great sea creatures being created according to their kinds. In the very first chapter of Genesis, 6 days of creation are described. 10 times in this chapter, the phrase according to its kind or according to their kind is used, referring to the plants, birds, and animals. When something in the Bible is repeated that many times in that short of a space, in one chapter, it requires us to take note. The plants, birds, and animals all brought forth or reproduced after their kinds or species. The creatures were perfectly matched, male and female, and they were purposefully created in a physically complementary way to allow them to reproduce. Now, some of the words in the table, we have matched here in this green going to the left, can also mean coordinated. Here is the word correlate. It can also mean to match. Same skip as the access term. Complementary, which also means to match each other. Completing in this gold lettering. Comparative is up here in the purple lettering going to the right. Each species has intrinsic and natural designs and abilities. They had fixed biological and genetic boundaries and were not created to intermingle their seed with other species. The word intrinsic is here in this green color, going across at a skip of 13 letters. 3 times we have the word original, true. It can also mean natural, and it's here in this brown lettering. Amuti. And then it's going down here at a vertical skip of 2, and it's also here. So they're all kind of grouped together here in one area. Primeval or initial is in this blue, going up diagonal. Range or perimeter is here with the mauve lettering going down. So each species had its range or perimeter to stay within. Another word for perimeter is here, going up. And all of the words that are vertical, one letter apart vertically, are the same skip as our access term. Then we have the word permanent, and it's here in this peach color, going to the right. Yahuah created all creatures to reproduce after their kind. We have the word baby here in the pink lettering. The word offspring is here in this dark blue coloring at a skip of 10 letters. 3 times we have the word begot. Here it is in the burgundy, and these are all in the plain text of Scripture, where it's talking about the genealogy of man. And line 18 is here, and this little phrase that's highlighted is, and were born sons and daughters. So that has to do with reproduction. That's from Genesis chapter 5, verse 13. The study of DNA and chemistry of biological creatures gives clear evidence, in my opinion, of intelligent design. Here in this plum color, we have the word intelligent or rational. Here in this purple is the word intelligibility. The word chemist is here in the orange. Even the fossil record bears witness to the reality of the fact that creatures today, the ones that have not gone extinct, are basically the same as the ones that are preserved in stone as fossils. And here is the word fossil in this yellow. Preserving or conserving is in this pink, going up diagonal. And each creature speaks its own language. Each species of bird has its own unique song. Man, being created in the image and likeness of Yah, has the most intelligent skills of language. The third line here, I've highlighted a portion of a verse that says, "And Elohim said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness." So we were not created like the birds and the animals. We are in the image of Yah. We have the most intelligent skills of language. Linguistic is here in this pink lettering. Mortal or human, also it's the name Enosh, is here 3 times. It's here in this blue lettering going down. And it's also in the plain text of scripture here and here. Civilization is in this light teal color. And we also have the name Methuselah in the plain text of scripture, and he's the oldest recorded living person. 969 years he lived. The book of Genesis is the book of beginnings. It unlocks secrets from the past, from the Creator who wanted these initial events recorded for us to know and understand. When we put our faith in His Word and in His truth, we realize how reliable and trustworthy His Word really is. Twice we have the word faith, and it's at the exact same letter skip as the access term. So faith is there, and just a little to the right, there it is again. Truth is here in this mauve color, going to the right at a skip of 13. Reliable or trustworthy, it can also mean believable or credible, is in this teal lettering going up diagonal. There are some other relevant passages of scripture that run through this table. Line 7 here contains Genesis chapter 2 verse 18, where it says, Yahuah Elohim said, "It is not good that man should be alone. I will make a helpmeet for him." And that's what's highlighted. I will make a helpmeet for him. And I found it interesting that in the exact same line is the word matched, which is in this green lettering. So Yahuah was the matchmaker for the first man and woman. Down here in this line, this is the 19th line, it says, "And Enoch walked with Elohim." So this is right before the flood was going to happen. Line 21, this portion that's highlighted, is from Genesis chapter 6, verse 2. "The sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men that they were fair, and they took wives of all which they chose." These fallen angels, they left their first estate, like it says in Jude chapter 1, verse 6, and they intermarried with humans, producing mixed seed. Fallen angels were the first to break Yah's law, his pattern to reproduce according to their kinds. A lot of genetic manipulation is going on in the world today, with animals, plants, and even humans. And in my opinion, Yah is not pleased. This was one of the reasons for the judgment that came in the form of a universal flood. So to recap, I found it was interesting that natural or original or true was found 3 times in this table, all grouped in the same area, and that matched was found in the same line as Yahuah made a helpmeet for Adam. Humans are different than creatures in the animal world. We are created in the image of Yahuah. That makes us special and gives us dignity. Yet sadly, many try to make Elohim in our image, which actually results in idolatry. Yahuah created boundaries for the seas. It says that in the scripture, and he created boundaries for the species of animals. Within each species, there can be variations, like we see with the different kinds of dogs and cats. But one thing we have learned with all our genetic tinkering, it's that genetically modified organisms cannot reproduce. Yah's original intent was that we could reproduce. We need to return to his original and natural design for the world. So that concludes this presentation called According to Their Kinds. Thank you for taking the time to watch. Shalom.